Off mute. And we are ready to go.
I'll tell him.
Okay. He said he would listen for us, but
He switched over. I think we're good.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting of the Finance Committee Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 at 7:19 p.m. in the Aldermanic Chamber and duly noticed in two places, including the city's website, in accordance with requirements of RSA 91-A:2, Roman numeral 2. Before we take roll call, if everybody will just indulge me a little bit. We did this at the previous meeting, but Alderwoman Timmons was a member of this committee, so if we could all stand and have a quick moment of silence, I would truly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Alderman Thibodeau.
Here.
Alderman GOV is here. Alderman Moran.
Here.
Alderman Clemens. Alderman Klee.
I'm here.
Mayor Donches.
Mayor Donches, obviously, the chair has asked me to fill in because he is out of town, and Alderman Clemens is ill and unable to make it. Also in attendance, I know I'm going to make mistakes here, so please apologize. I apologize ahead of time. Director Cummings, Ms. Gerard, Mr. Misevich, Deb Chisholm, Mr. Roche, Dan Hudson, David Bouchard, Jeff Lafleur, I'm sorry, Director Hannum, Mr. Ibarra, I think Mr. Rush is here too. Yes, and he is here. Did I miss anybody? Nope, I don't think so. From here, we'll go to public comment. We got a filled audience, but no public. Okay. Mr. Clerk, communications.
From Amy Jura, Purchasing Manager, in regard to software subscription, Placer AI in the amount of $55,938, funded from General Fund 55, other services. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve the multi-year renewal for the continued operation of Placer AI with Placer Labs Incorporated in the amount of $55,938. Funding will be through Department 120 Technology Maintenance Fund, General Fund 55, other services.
Mr. Misevich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nick Misevich, Chief Information Officer for the City of Nashua. Come before you with this Placer AI renewal. If you recall from last year, it was the first year that we proceeded with it. Economic Development utilizes this subscription to obtain statistics on events, and then also shares that information with other departments like Mayor's Office, Community Development, etc. So this is just for the 2-year renewal now, because they offered a discount of 4% off the price if we signed a 2-year agreement.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? The only question I have is and I know Director Hannum is probably here, we also share this, I think, with businesses. Is Ms. Hannum?
Liz Hannum, Economic Development Director. Yes, I have been sharing it with our downtown businesses as well as any other businesses that sign up to receive that information.
Okay. Thank you very much. Again, any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. 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 Those opposed, and that motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Jura, Purchasing Manager, in regard to change order number 1 for the Kronos migration project in the amount not to exceed $128,000, funded from General Fund 54 Property Services. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve change order number 1 for a change in scope of the Kronos migration project with Mosaic Consulting Group in the amount not to exceed $128,000. Funding will be through Department 120 Technology Maintenance Fund, General Fund 54 Property Services.
Mr. Misevich again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, Nick Misevich. This is for the Kronos migration project that was started back in March, and I've been negotiating with them for the past 2 months regarding this change order to get all the information down of the for the reasoning of the change order. It's partly due to the extended timeline, because this was supposed to be completed in October. And also, we've added some items that were not on the original scope, like training for our employees, certain problems that arose throughout discussions that would make it easier for departments when we get to this new version, and items like that. So this is just to get that change order process so we can continue and finalize the migration.
Was the extended timeline due to the added items and changes, or was it, or more data than they expected or something?
A little bit of everything.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Alderman Thibodeau?
So I see this is an add-on for, thank you, for phase one. Do we anticipate additional add-ons for phase one? And then on top of that, how many phases are there if this is only phase one, if you know?
Well, this is just for phase one, and this will be to complete phase one. We're looking at a potential for phase two, but we will not know that until after we go live and see if there's anything outstanding or if any new issues arise that different departments would like to get addressed. So phase two would be a totally separate project. It
Which
be-
would be driven by the outcome of the launch
Right.
and full integration of phase one.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to change order number 9 for the Jackson Mills turbine generator and control replacement in the amount of -$68,241.83, funded from Bond 81 Capital Outlay and Improvement. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve change order 9, which is a reduction in the total contract amount for unused contingency with Bancroft Contracting Corporation in the amount of -$68,241.83. Funding will be through Department 170, Hydroelectric Operations Fund, Bond 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements.
And who do we have here to speak on that? Thank you, Ms. Chisholm.
Hi, good evening, Deb Chisholm, Sustainability Department Manager. I know it's a little out of the ordinary that I'm coming in front of you and actually giving money back, but here I am. And it really, the reason that I'm here giving money back is for the next change order item on the agenda, which I was actually unable to pay until I was able to unencumber these funds from the Bancroft contract. So while I wouldn't normally come to you and say, hey, you know, I'm done, I don't need the, you know, the money anymore, we would normally do that just behind the curtain. I thought it was better to bring it in front of you so that you could see those funds are no longer being used, so we'll unencumber those and use them for the next change order you're about to see. So Bancroft was the contractor that did all of the contract work for the Jackson turbine replacement project, which is pretty close to construction complete. A couple of minor checklist items left.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to change order number 7 for the Jackson Mills turbine generator and control replacement in the amount not to exceed $154,772.60, funded from Bond 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve change order number 7 for the additional cost of equipment, transportation from the Czech Republic to Nashua, New Hampshire, relative to the Jackson Mills project with Marvel Americas Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $154,772.60. Funding will be through Department 170 Hydroelectric Operations Fund, Bond 81 Capital.
Thank you. I remember when this was kind of stuck there before we brought it here. We had to sit there until we were ready for it, if I'm correct? Is
Correct.
that-
Deb Chisholm, Sustainability Department Manager. Correct. The equipment was made in the Czech Republic, and we did have to hold it as we were not ready to have it here and store it here, which would have required jumping through some hoops to keep the equipment safe and properly checked over that time period. So we did leave it with them, but the transportation costs associated with getting that from point A to point B are, as you can see, $154,000 higher than we had originally anticipated with, and they were not, the company, DHL, was not our contractor. It was they were a subcontractor to Mavel. And so, as you can see in the packet, they provided us with the letter in July indicating that once the equipment was delivered, they did attempt to negotiate a lower change in cost. And the 154 was the final outcome of that.
Okay. And I just have one quick question before I open it up. So that looks like there's about a difference of 88,000 between these two? Or is this 150, this 154 plus the 68,000 is what it's going to cost us, or is it just 154?
It's just 154, yeah.
So the difference of that 88,000 between taking off that 68,000, I'm sorry, that is within the budget that you, okay.
Correct.
I'm going to open, any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next communication?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to lead paint inspection, risk assessment, and clearance services in the amount not to exceed $560,000, funded from HUD Lead Hazard Reduction and Health Homes Grant, 54 Property Services. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve a contract with New England Restorations LLC, DBA, above the rest inspections for lead inspections and risk assessment services in the amount not to exceed $560,000. Funding will be through Department 184 Urban Programs Fund, HUD Lead Hazard Reduction, and Healthy Homes Grant, 54 Property Services.
Thank you. And Ms. Gerard?
Good evening. Thank you. Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager. I am here on the request of the Community Development Division for the Lead-Based Paint Hazard and Healthy Homes Grant Program. Director Sullivan was not able to attend this evening, so I graciously offered to present this request and to attempt to answer any of your questions that you may have. That said, if you have detailed questions that you can't answer, Director Sullivan would be happy to write a separate communication and to answer those questions. With that said, this request is a not-to-exceed dollar amount for above the rest inspections for $560,000, which will facilitate the lead inspection and risk assessment of up to 230 housing units during a 3-year grant period with the city's lead grant program. By the way of a brief background, these inspections are part of the city's $7,700,000 lead-based paint hazard and healthy home reduction grant through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. You may recall that in early 2025, Director Sullivan came forward to you with this exact same contract for these services with a different vendor. Due to ongoing licensing challenges with the state of New Hampshire and that vendor, we have chosen to suspend that contract and proceed with securing other services, which we did through a competitive procurement process. Through that process, Above the Rest LLC was selected as a preferred vendor. While the federal government is currently shut down and the lead paint program is not intending to expend any monies or direct lead grant work, including the inspections included within this contract, the intent is to have the contract in place when the shutdown has ended. The contract will terminate on or before October 30th, 2028, subject to the completion of all units within that grant. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I also spoke to Director Sullivan about this, and he explained that there was a licensing issue with the previous vendor, and we didn't want to just sit here and wait for that to unravel and fix and so on, which is why we went back out for this. So we have technically already approved the facilitating of this funding and so on. This is just a new vendor. Ms. Gerard, is there any difference in the price from one vendor to the other, or are we staying within the same price?
There is a slight cost difference. The previous contract was issued for $584,310, and this one is looking for a not-to-exceed amount of $560,000. Some monies had been expended off of the previous contract, and so I think that's where the difference is.
Okay, so it's probably about the same then. Are there any questions?
Fairly close together, yes.
Seeing no questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed?
Nay.
And there's one opposed. And that motion carries. Thank you. Next,
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to City Hall HVAC upgrade in the amount not to exceed $732,489, funded from Capital Improvement, 81 Outland Improvement. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve a contract with Schroeder Construction for the installation of the City Hall HVAC upgrade project in the amount not to exceed $732,489. Funding will be through Department 129 City Buildings Fund, Capital Improvements, 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements.
Ms. DeRoche?
Good evening, Amy DeRoche, Property Manager for the city. This will start the long-awaited construction for the City Hall HVAC upgrades. This will install a brand-new boiler. The current boiler will become redundant, which is something we're actually lacking right now since we're just down to the one. And it'll also upgrade the areas of the building that need air conditioning upgraded. They can start immediately. The lead time for the boiler is less than 1 week to get that in. I'm happy to answer any questions, or I have others here for more technical questions that you might have.
Okay. I just have one real quick question here. So this, you said the lead time is just 1 week for the boiler, which would mean once it's got approved and so on, we could get them started, and before, hopefully, the first snowflake falls?
Correct, yes.
You'll have heat in this building?
Yes.
We have it today, at least in this room. So are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. And opposed? And that passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Next, communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to Greeley Park Stonehouse Improvement Construction Change Order Number 4 in the amount not to exceed $14,592.48, funded from General Fund 54 Property Services. I make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve Change Order Number 4 to the Greeley Park Stonehouse Improvement Project with Cobb Hill Construction in the amount not to exceed $14,592.48. Funding will be through Department 177 Parks and Recreation Fund, General Fund 54 Property Services.
Mr. Hudson, are you going to speak to this?
I am, yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So Dan Hudson, City Engineer. This is a change order which pushes us over the $25,000 threshold. There's been some previous change orders on this project at the Stonehouse at Greeley Park, but this latest one pushes us over the 25, so that's why we're before you. This one is for tempered water system, which is required by building code. Some of the other ones have been for miscellaneous plumbing changes and things like that. But overall, the project is tracking very well. We expect to be substantially complete by December 10th with final completion by the end of the year. The roof is on. Hopefully, everybody's had a chance to drive by. But this will help get us across the finish line with all the things we need to do. I'd be happy to address any questions.
Thank you. And when you say tempered water, that means it doesn't get too hot. Is that what that
Yes,
would
correct.
mean?
It's not a super hot or super cold. It's tempered, so it's a mixture.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions on this? Alderman Thibodeau.
Does this put us, excuse me, thank you. Does this put us over the original budgeted dollar figure?
No, we're still well within the total budget for the project.
And follow up?
Yes, please.
So I looked into what a tempered water system is, and what I saw was that in New Hampshire, it's been a requirement for public bathrooms for 15 to 20 years. So I'm curious why this was not already part of the plan and why it's a new add-on thing.
Well, it's a good question. It wasn't in the plans. I guess our architect didn't have it in there. I don't know exactly why. I don't know if they thought it was a different class of building or anything like that. But it did come to our attention through the building department, and so we are adding it in. The contractor, it's no fault of theirs. They didn't bid it because it wasn't in there to bid. So it's something that we need to add in to be compliant with the codes.
Any further questions? Okay. I know I worked at the VA, and oftentimes you would turn that faucet on and that water was hot. So I'm glad that the state has done it. I think Massachusetts is the same way. So seeing no questions, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And those opposed? And that motion passes. Mr. Clerk?
In regard, from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to Tinker Road Guardrail Project, in the amount not to exceed $27,350, funded from General Fund 71 Equipment. And I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and award a construction contract for Tinker Road Guardrail installation with CWS Fence and Guardrail in the amount not to exceed $27,350. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets Fund, General Fund 71 Equipment.
Mr. Hudson, is this you as well?
It is. So there's a sharp corner in Tinker Road in the vicinity of number 360. Unfortunately, it's been the site of some severe crashes. Because of the sharpness of the curve, people have gotten off the road, crashed into the woods. There's even been fatalities out there. So we made several attempts to mitigate this through signage and other things, but there's continued crashes. So we have temporarily put up some Jersey barrier out there to prohibit people, leaving the road and entering the woods in the backyards of residents. But we seek to replace that with traditional guardrail. So we bid out a project. We only got one bid. It was from CWS Fence and Guardrail of Andover. CWS is one of the primary companies that installs guardrail throughout New Hampshire and New England. So we're very comfortable with them. And their pricing was in line with what we were expecting to receive based upon other NHDOT bids and the like. So we're proposing to move forward with CWS to install the guardrail. I'd be happy to address any questions.
Thank you. And as a person who drives through there all the time, I've seen how fast people go around those corners and so on. I do have one quick question. The guardrail versus the Jersey barriers that are there at the moment, I get anxious about Jersey barriers being there and that people crash into them and they don't survive versus a guardrail which will just slow them down. Is that kind of part of the primary, or is it more for the aesthetics that we're moving from the Jersey barriers to the guardrails?
I'd say it's some of both. I mean, Jersey barriers are not necessarily meant for a permanent treatment, and the standards have changed for those over the years. They're more for construction activity. They do a good job of stopping cars, but they are pretty unforgiving. Guardrail will yield a little bit better, so it's a little bit safer for the drivers. But both have the same effect in that they'll keep vehicles from traversing out into the woods, where I think some of the problems have been that the vehicles have rolled over. So all of these are, they're not something you want to hit if you can avoid it in your car, because there's still a physical barrier. But this guardrail will be a little bit safer than the Jersey barrier is, in our opinion.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And there are none. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to change order number 3 for sewer contract 1 in the amount not to exceed $1 million, funded from Bond 54 Property Services. I'll make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve change order number 3 to the 2025 sewer replacement project, contract 1, with Crisp Contracting, in the amount not to exceed $1 million. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater Fund, Bond 54 Property Services.
Mr. Hudson, is this you again?
This is my last one, Madam Chair. So we had bid out in 2025, we had bid out a sewer project, contract 1. We actually bid out a couple of them, but this first contract was awarded to Crisp Contracting under a low bid scenario. Crisp Contracting is a local company. They've been great to work with. They've been completing work under this 2025 contract to raise manholes, make other sewer repairs. Some of them are emergency repairs. But at any rate, as we wind down the year, they're out of funding. Since the relationship's been good, we're seeking to extend their contract, add in another $1 million to basically reset their budget for the remainder of this year and into next year. There has been 2 other no-cost change orders. Those have been to modify some items and add some items in, things that we didn't have in the contract or weren't clarified. So that's our request, is to continue the relationship we have going here and have them available for planned sewer work, but as well as emergency sewer work. I'd be happy to address any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? And that motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Thank you.
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to gas monitoring system replacement in the amount not to exceed $400,879, funded from WERF 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve a contract with TC Control Group for the purchase and installation of gas monitoring safety equipment throughout the wastewater treatment facility in the amount not to exceed $400,879. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater Fund, WERF 81 Capital Outlay Improvements.
Mr. Boucher?
Good evening, Dave Boucher, wastewater superintendent. This is for the purchase and installation of the new gas monitoring system to replace the existing system, which was due for replacement in FY26 as part of our WERF upgrade program. This system protects our employees from being in unsafe places. It includes replacing all the controllers, the alarms, and the sensors. The sensors measure oxygen, methane, and hydrogen sulfide. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And that motion carries. Mr. Clerk? Thank you, Mr. Boucher.
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to 2025 landfill gas collection system expansion in the amount not to exceed $379,120, funded from Bond 54 Property Services. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve a contract with J. Bates & Sons LLC for the construction of the 2025 landfill gas collection system expansion project in the amount not to exceed $379,120. Funding will be through Department 168 Solid Waste Fund, Bond 54 Property Services.
Mr. LaFleur, are you here for this one?
Yes, ma'am. Jeff LaFleur, Superintendent Solid Waste. This is my annual gas expansion for the landfill to collect any odors or gases out of the landfill and send it to the electricity plant next era.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to PFAS leachate removal plot program test engineering services in the amount not to exceed $324,100, funded from Grant 53 Professional Technical Services. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve a contract with Sanborn Head and Associates to provide engineering oversight of the Four Hills landfill leachate PFAS removal and destruct plot test in the amount not to exceed $324,100. Funding will be through Department 168 Solid Waste Fund, Grant 53 Professional and Technical Services.
Mr. LaFleur?
Yes, LaFleur, Superintendent Solid Waste. So I don't know if you remember a few months ago, I came in asking to accept a grant from DES. They want us to do a pilot program trying to remove PFAS. We went through the grant process, and this is the continuance of it. We needed to secure an engineer to help design and build the project.
So may I ask, this funding is within that grant amount, or?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion passes. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to Riverfront Project Renaissance Park Art Mural in the amount not to exceed $105,000, funded from Riverfront TIF Fund 70 Project Contingency. I make a motion to accept, place on file, and award a contract for the Water Street Wall Mural in Renaissance Park with J. Graham Studios LLC in the amount not to exceed $105,000. Funding will be through Department 183 Economic Development Fund, Riverfront TIF Fund 70 Project Contingency.
Director Hannon?
Liz Hannum, Economic Development Director. I'll just provide a little overview. This is the Riverfront project. We had planned a mural along the Water Street Bridge wall. And so it's from about 5 feet to about 20 feet tall, and it's almost 200 feet long. And this will be from the TIF bond account. So this was planned as part of the original scope of work. It is within our overall budget. It is slightly over what we budgeted in 2019. For this, we budgeted 100,000 and we're at 105,000. So we're pretty close considering it's been a few years since we budgeted that amount. But as a public art project, I did ask the Arts Commission to take over the process of actually deciding on what mural. So I brought Arts Commissioner to tell you what the process is.
Thank you. Just give your name, please.
Laurie Spears-Savette. Good evening. Thanks for having me. Liz asked me to explain how the process that we followed differed from the process they followed in the past. So in the past, an RFQ would go out and city employees would decide who would be the successful muralist. So in this case, the process differed in a couple ways. First, it was selected by a committee representing different groups who had a vested interest in the mural. So we had Alderman Tom Lopez, 4 people from the city, including one from Department of Public Works and one from Sustainability. We had a representative from Clock Tower Police, 2 members of the Richelieu Club, and 2 Nashua Arts Commission members. Turning to the process, it differed in that there were sort of 2 rounds of voting instead of 1. There was an RFQ that went out. We had 21 submissions. The committee met to narrow the 21 to 3 using an established set of criteria. Following the selection of the 3 finalists, the whole committee had an opportunity to meet with the finalists and share what their priorities were. So going into the final submissions, they had all the information that they needed. In our 3rd and final meeting, the committee was asked to review the more complete submissions, which included a fully developed concept for the mural, as well as ideas on community engagement. So we met and we voted on a winning design, and it was unanimous in selecting Jay Graham. Any questions from anyone?
Just one quick question.
Sure.
The person that was selected from J. Graham Studios, they are in no part of the Arts Commission, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Alderman Thibodeau, and then we'll do Alderman Moran.
I'm just curious, out of the 21 submissions, were any of them at least on the East Coast, closer to New Hampshire?
Yes, there were some in the East Coast. There were 2 actually from New Hampshire, and we discussed them very carefully. Again, we were evaluating them against criteria that we agreed on, and in the end, while one of them was a finalist, we picked somebody else.
Is that all, Alderman Thibodeau?
Yeah, well,
Please.
following. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so more just general comment on the item that's being voted on. As an artist, I mean, I think the world's a better place with art in it. I'm just not gonna, with things the way they are, I'm not gonna vote for it because I don't think we should be budgeting it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna be voting no on it, but I think it is a cool mural. But I'm gonna be voting no on it.
Okay, Alderman Moran?
I was gonna make a point of how much time and payroll it probably went into to select a $105,000 bidding person. I know some of these people are also volunteers, but also, yes, given the time, I won't be voting for it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Any other questions? Alderman, Director
Yes.
Hannum?
I'll just address too.
Please.
This is out of the TIF fund. It's not being budgeted out of general funds, just in case that was a factor.
Thank you.
And may I follow up? This was within the plan of the Riverfront project, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, it's always been on the agenda for this piece. So we went through a lot of process. We did have some staff time involved in this, but as part of the Arts Commission process, that is how we are doing this going forward.
Okay. Are there any other questions on that?
No other questions?
I'm going to make a comment on it. I think it's a worthwhile project, and the reason why I'm going to say it is prior, the mural that was there was of all the businesses and so on. So it's for the people that live in the area, the people that are going to be doing this. There's always been some kind of an art thing there. Considering that it was in the budget for $100,000, we're only adding $5,000 more over it. It's always been in the plan, it's always been part of the plan. I think we do a disservice to the people that are in that, plus the project itself, if we just, turn it down because we say we don't want to spend this $105,000. I'm all for trying to save as much money as possible, but I don't think nickeling and diming this particular project is the right thing to do. But we're all individuals here, and we all have our vote. I have a feeling that it will go down. And to speak to Alderman Moran's comment, it is part of the staff's job is to kind of look at all these projects. We wouldn't want Director Hannum, and by all means I will let you, we wouldn't want Director Hannum just to pick it or just the commission to pick it. I think bringing in all the different elements of it, Alderman Lopez is not just an alderman, but he, like yourself, he's an artist as well. So we bring that eye in. The Arts Commission is the first time we've engaged the Arts Commission. We have this commission there to do things, and up to this point, they do good work, but they do a lot of just handing out grants. This is kind of bringing them into the fold of helping the city make decisions. I think this is one of the first times that we've really used them for this, and I thought it was really great that we were doing something like that. But again, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I just wanted to give that added information. Oh my God, I'll get this out here eventually. Alderman Moran, please.
I probably should clarify. I just was pointing out and highlighting the time and energy it goes for that small grant. I'm voting no against it because of the crisis of the unhoused in the city, and I feel that it's inappropriate to expend $105,000 on a mural at this moment when our warming shelter is not open. I just want to clarify, and it's nothing to do with the work that's been done or the value that art brings to the city and the downtown economic machine down there. But unfortunately, they have another problem that they've very clearly expressed to this board, and I can't see supporting this right now when we have to address the other problems they brought to us that are much more urgent, according to them.
I also need to clarify that this is TIF money, and we cannot take this money to do that. And I understand. I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's just morality.
And please, by all means, I get your points that you're making. But even if we wanted to, we could not take this money towards the resource center or towards the warming center. But I understand taking the high ground. And again, I don't try to change anybody's mind. I just want to give the information. So
I'll just make one
Yes,
more
please.
point is, if this does not happen, then it will be a gigantic gray blank wall for lots and lots of graffiti to end up there. So just kind of putting it out there that we will have to expend money probably doing anti-graffiti paint on there no matter what, whether it's a mural or not. So that was included in the $105,000.
So you're saying that currently there's going to be anti-graffiti paint on it anyways?
After the mural, yes.
After the mural.
But if there is no mural, then we will likely have to buy additional anti-graffiti paint to put on there.
Do we know how much that costs?
It's very expensive.
Okay.
I mean, it's not $105,000, but
Right.
it is a lot more expensive than regular paint.
Okay, so regardless, so we don't know how much of this 105,000? So
I can get
this
that.
105,000 does not include
No, it does.
It does include that graffiti paint. So, but we don't know how much that is?
No, I don't, unfortunately. I can look it up for you, though.
Okay.
We do buy some DPW does buy some for other parts of the city, so there may be some,
Okay,
but.
but it's still an expense whether we're using stuff we have or stuff that we have to purchase. It's still
Yeah.
ultimately an expense. Yeah, it would have been nice to know how much of this 105,000 is
sorry.
that. That's okay. Alderman Thibodeau, please.
I believe it's a line item in the presentation.
Okay.
Is it?
I
I'm
believe
sorry, I
so.
missed
I'm
that.
trying to find it.
In the proposal,
Thank you. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I apologize, I
If
missed
you
that.
if you wanted an answer right now, but I think it's,
I guess I did not see that. Hold it, I see here, yeah. It must be under the material and labor, is that correct?
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking at $70,000, but I have a feeling that that 70,000
would
is
include
inclusive
paint.
of it. It's not all of it.
Oh, it's
Okay.
just under their warranty notation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So we don't know how much of this is going to be,
I don't, unfortunately, but we can certainly get that information if this doesn't pass,
okay.
which it looks like it's
Is
not going
anybody interested in waiting to get that information, or just, no, okay. I'm going to take the vote then. All those in favor for this, say aye. Aye. And those opposed?
Nay.
That's 3 to 1, and it fails.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Next, communication from Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to Winter Road salt in the amount not to exceed $545,000, funded from General Fund 61 Supplies and Material. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve the purchase of Winter Road salt from Eastern Minerals and Granite State Minerals in the amount not to exceed $545,000. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund Grant Fund 61 Supplies and Materials.
Thank you. And Mr. Ibarra?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, all. This motion before you is for the procurement of our winter road salt for this season. Granite State and Eastern Minerals are a conglomerate, and they were awarded the State of New Hampshire bid, and we're piggybacking on that contract through our purchasing guidelines. And I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed, and that motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to John Deere 624 P-Tier wheel loader with plow package in the amount not to exceed $399,800, funded from SURF 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve the purchase of one 624 P-Tier John Deere wheeled loader from United Construction and Forestry in the amount not to exceed $399,800. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund SURF 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements.
Mr. Rush? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. This is a scheduled purchase for the street department. This loader is used in daily operations throughout the city, including snowplow operations. It's a vital piece of equipment that we use year-round. The warranty is a little bit different on this loader than previous loaders, and that's just due to the type of equipment that it currently comes with due to the expensive components that are with it. So we opted to go with an extended warranty on this unit to cover those for the life of its use. There will be a trade-in value added to the quote, which should be at the end of the page, and it will be under the scheduled SURF purchase. So there was a little bit of a savings there for the fund. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have on this purchase.
Alderman Thibodeau.
Was the reduced, I can't find my word. Is the reduced cost strictly because of the trade-in? Because 2 weeks ago, you had all kinds of awesome news where everything was way cheaper than we had planned on.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
It would have came in under budget, under the scheduled purchase anyway, but the trade-in did help offset that number a lot more.
Very cool.
I don't have that specific number. I want to say it was around $30,000.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And those opposed? And that motion passes. Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Gerard, Purchasing Manager, in regard to purchase of two 2026 Ford F-350 four-wheel drive trucks and upfit in the amount not to exceed $182,872, funded from SURF 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements. I'm going to make a motion to accept, place on file, and approve the purchase of two 2026 Ford F-350 four-wheel drive trucks with snowplow packages and installation of radio systems from Grappone Ford in the amount not to exceed $182,872, $91,436 each. Funding will be through Department 177 Parks and Recreation Fund, SURF 81 Capital Outlay and Improvements.
Mr. Rush.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Michael Rush, Fleet Superintendent. This is also a scheduled purchase for the Park Department maintenance vehicles. So these two vehicles are showing signs of corrosion to the undercarriage and the other components that are with the vehicle. They also have snow fighter packages on them for winter operations. They're equipped with utility bodies that carry all kinds of tools for the parks, the pools, and the stadiums that they maintain. Keep them locked up and safe in the truck. Happy to answer any questions you have on this. It's a pretty standard purchase, and they also came in a little under budget.
Was this warranty also for the extended life of use, or is this just a?
That is correct. We are doing the extended warranties on these units and still maintaining the SURF budget.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, Mr. Clerk?
From Amy Jura, Purchasing Manager, in regard to limited design services for the Keefe Auditorium in the amount not to exceed $79,500, funded from General Fund 54 Property Services. I make a motion to accept, place on file, and award a contract with Icon Architecture, Inc. for limited design work for a conceptual design plan for the Keefe Auditorium in the amount not to exceed $79,500. Funding will be through Department 129 City Buildings Fund, General Fund 54 Property Services.
Director Cummings?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Tim Cummings, Director of Administrative Services. I'm here before you this evening to ask for your favorable approval of this contract. If you recall, the Board of Aldermen relatively recently approved a resolution to put monies into this department's budget to be able to undertake this contract. It was a transfer out of contingency. I say that to you so you have some context, and what it is the Keefe Auditorium wants to work with an architect to obtain some assistance in understanding what a potential concept could look like for a renovated Keefe Auditorium, and they would work with these design professionals in a limited manner, studying this, and it's time sensitive in the sense that this data and evaluation needs to occur prior to moving forward with any of the proposals that we have before us to redevelop the Elm Street Middle School. Competitive selection was undertaken. We received about 10 proposals. The Keefe Auditorium had designated 2 members of their commission to review the proposals. It was narrowed down to 3, and ultimately Icon Architecture was selected based on their price and also their understanding of performing arts centers as they have past experience. So there was a scope developed, and the scope is in line with the expectations of the Keefe Auditorium. Basically, there's 3 differing concepts that want to be studied with this architect and the design professionals that we would be procuring, which one of them would be a construction management firm to help with cost estimates. I'll close by saying that the contract falls exactly in line with the resolution that was filed and recently approved by the Board of Aldermen. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on this? So, please, Alderman Thibodeau.
Just to make sure I understood, did you say that this is choosing one of the developers for the school project is contingent on this moving forward?
Yes. Yes, and let me explain a little bit as to why that is the case. I don't believe there would be agreement within the Board of Aldermen to move one of the proposals forward, either proposal, any proposal, one of those proposals forward, until the Keefe Auditorium Commission had an opportunity to opine as to how much space they will need, not just the Keefe Auditorium itself, but to create a lobby area, land area around it. That will be part of this study. That information will be then provided to the Board of Aldermen and also to the respondents. They will be able to potentially adopt their proposal based on this data, and then the Board of Aldermen will be able to make a more informed decision.
Follow up? Yes.
Makes perfect logic sense. I just don't ever remember that tidbit coming up, and if it did, I missed it, but it makes sense. I get it. It was just...
If I could?
Please, by all means.
It has been a new development. You did not miss anything.
All right.
But as we've been evaluating and moving the redevelopment of the Elm Street Middle School forward, this was an issue that that rose to the top.
Thank you. Any other questions? So, again, just to clarify what Alderman Thibodeau had asked and so on, we just can't move forward with the other proposals until we have an idea of what this overall would be. Is that correct?
I wouldn't use the word can't. recommend
Okay,
it.
okay.
And I believe you would be doing yourselves a potential disservice. And we've worked really hard and fast to be able to get this, because the two groups that we're evaluating have been on the table working with us for a while. So that's why I'm saying this is a little time sensitive, only in fairness to the private sector. This was a newer issue that arose. We want to get the details and the data to you so you can make an informed decision. So I'm hopeful this contract gets approved, because I have an internal goal of trying to get this underway between now and ideally December, January. It's a limited scope of work. But then, sometime around the holidays or right after the first of the year, you'd be able to then proceed and have more of this data for the evaluation.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Please, Alderman Thibodeau.
As part of this effort, because I know one of the big hangups before was all of the facility stuff is at the far end of the school, and whether we were going to tie in or all that kind of stuff. Is this effort going to take into account being a self-sustaining facility?
Yes.
Okay.
Any further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cummings. New business resolutions?
None.
New business ordinances?
None.
The Library Plaza is going to remain on the table, so we will leave that there. Let's see. I don't know if we're taking off oh no, so that's the Library Plaza. Yeah, and, okay, so we are leaving the Library Plaza stuff on the table, and I think that's all that's tabled, is that?
Yep.
Yes, that's all that's tabled. Okay, records of expenditure.
I move that the Finance Committee has complied with the city charter and ordinances pertaining to the record of expenditures for the period of October 10, 2025 to October 30, 2025.
Any questions, concerns on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That brings us to, I'm going to skip general discussion and go to public comment. Seeing none there, now I'll go to remarks by Alderman. Please, Alderman Thibodeau.
I don't usually have any, but to the arch, oh, she left.
She left, yes.
I appreciate the hard work that went into that. I do, and so it has nothing to do with that effort. So, and I get that vote probably stung and hurt a lot of people, but I can appreciate the effort that went into it, and but I also can appreciate that it stung a little bit. So, just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Alderman Thibodeau. Any other remarks by the Alderman? Alderman Moran.
I just want to thank everyone for the election yesterday, all the poll workers, and of course the city clerk. I know we'll have a chance at the full BOA. And congratulations to all the winners and those of you who ran and served. Who didn't. I appreciate the time that you gave to us here, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the community.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, I'd like to also extend my congratulations to those who did win their election, and I hate to say condolences to those who didn't, but those that will be leaving us, you really will be missed, and so on. But I also want to make a comment that I've heard that Alderwoman, I think she's going to be, at-large-elect Alicia Gregg will get sworn in to take the vacated seat by Alderwoman at Large Timmons. And we'll probably do that. The next Board of Aldermen will not be on Tuesday because it's a holiday, and it will be held on Thursday, which I think is the 13th. We will see some things there, and I just want to say Alderwoman Timmons will be missed. And her services will be, I believe, on the 23rd of November. And I believe the information will be in the obituary as well. So, Alderman Okay, I'm going to ask for adjournment, and I'm going to ask Alderman Thibodeau to do this for us tonight.
Madam President, or Madam Chair, move to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. And those who oppose? Nice and silent. And this meeting ends at 8:13 PM, and thank you, everybody.